Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What we gonna eat no money, what we at you, eat no at you. Covid money, missing we eat the you look rat you. Use the youth, the money, waste my must have man to statue. Say me like a catch you, but me got in a figure you. Take this print of money, girl, and say that is not you. One day the man above me up, him a got up. Too much eating at the kitchen, some a fly by like a patu. My singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% raise.
It burn me.
Garbage pile up the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption face.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The already promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, they rap and they down in our fever. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the sun man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
How them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again.
Stevie dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no cape. And some informer friend we love lake. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV, check it.
Good morning, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm just a bit distracted. I'm searching for Rusty's page. You know, Rusty covers these hurricane, and we are tapping into whatever is going on locally this morning and following the direction of Raphael. Good morning to all my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good morning and welcome. It is America's biggest Super Tuesday in their political sense. No, it is not a DNC conference, but it is, in their political sense, a major Super Tuesday. Today, the world has been asked, the Americans, rather, are being asked to choose between one of the two evil. Will they go to the evil on the far left or the evil on the far right? By crack of dawn tomorrow morning, we should know who wins the US presidential election. Will it be Donald Trump or will it be Kamala Harris? Only when the vote tallies up, time really will tell. Hold on, let me just fix my page while me I talk. To honor, how do do? Good morning. Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Let me go over into the comment. How do do? Good morning. Good morning. All on there. Debbie Jarvis TV, good morning, good morning. And those of you in Jamaica, we're expecting you to give us some updates in the chat as to what the weather condition is like around you at the moment. I spoke to my brother via voice chat this morning. The place is hugely overcast and there's little jibble jabble of rain, but nothing major yet. But similarly to Beryl, Raphael is expected to move, I believe, along the southern coastline. That we will get into shortly. Who else is here? RJ, how are you? Charlotte Reed, Sharon Bernard, Yvonne Riley, Jason Kane, Ladybug, Marcia Thomas, At James, Empress Deb, Sophia Hall, Violet Watson, Anthony Morgan, Colin, Bros, Colleen Jones. Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome. It's raining heavily in Manchester. I was over Rusty a few minutes ago. Yes, a lot of solid and some drizzle. Not much more. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what me getting from parts of St. Elizabeth. But we'll bring up Rusty's audio and screen shortly. That's his page where he gave us brilliant tracking of Beryl earlier this year. So we're hoping to tap into his broadcasts in a bit, but we do hope, regardless of the strength, Colleen Jones Christopher, our island is spare the worst, because we really haven't recovered Beryl. The people are spent out, Willie Don, because the little help from government, one and two people get it, and everybody get it. It's bureaucratical, held up, and all sort of malarkey. Carl Wilson. It is said that Colonel Charles want to put out some people who are in shelters. We're still waiting to get more on that. But given the current circumstances, I know that behavior or action would be a forbidden one, given where we are at the moment. And it's also, I think, moving in the direction of Cuba, Delphi Campbell, Marcia Gray, which, you know, Cuba has already been going through natural disaster devastation. Don't know how close it will walk to Florida. I think Florida may escape it, but I'll let Rusty explain it in a bit. These are not my areas. But hold on there. The two criminals who will America lodged us with. Will America lodge us with a terror of hate from Donald Trump? Or will America land us with a terror of bomb dropping from Kamala on the left? whoever wins this presidential election in America, one thing for sure that all of us can say, left or right, it doesn't look good for humanity. It really doesn't. It really doesn't look good for humanity, Winston Gibbs. Whichever of the devil America chooses, humanity will face a backlash from it. But that is where we are. That is where humanity is. When America, who trot around the world, drinking oil, dropping bombs, firing AK-47s, even nuclear missile, America is ended up with the worst of the worser to choose from. The worst and the worser. That is where the shining democracy of America has ended up. Nothing to choose from. Not much to choose from. Yin and yang, pretty much the same. The unipolitics of America, where Democrat come, same. Republican come, same. Same thing with PNP and JLP. It's just about playing on the minds of the people. Maybe we don't need to have multiple party like in Britain, where you might just ended up with a hung parliament where it shifts the balance of how things working. But let's see how it's all pan out. And if America, regardless of who loses or who wins, supporters will take America into an anarchical stage where Donald Trump supporters refuse to accept the result that Donald Trump may have lost, or the deep state Democrats may want to disbelieve that Kamala, like Hillary, was wooed by one of the worst you think you could have elected in the political spheres. But let's see how it all dance out in front of us. Tana say, no while no dance. So, we're Tana, we see. Let's see what it will turn into and how America will deal with the result of this election. Will it be another showdown like January 6, 2021? Or will it be a smooth transition? Delroy Henry, who are you talking to? Delroy Henry? Who are you talking to? Can you answer who you're talking to, Delroy Henry? Come in a thing over here, you come to my veranda. I talk to me, so. So me case and talk. If I may refer to, or you refer to something else or someone else, Delroy Henry, D. Henry, or whatever your name. Can me and talk? Me just go act like me. Yeah, talk. And give you the democracy where the Republican and the Democrat them take out on a hand and mouth. Really look like you not taking medication. Or you just like to lick and run. Me hate the lick and run, you see? Like when they turn up to me, lick them back. Anyway, who next? Pata Cat. Can't tell we say we not call on a thief, you know. A two major scandal now. Financial debacle on a benefit from Donmel. A two major financial debacle SSL benefit from. So not today, SSL a thief. We can't call on a thief because the SSL scandal of January 2023 was a fraudulent activity that brought the investor down. It was a multi-million or multi-billion-dollar fraud at SSL that bring the whole house down. So if you cross-screen, if Mark cross-screen, and if thiefing Zachary Harding want come send them bad man come threaten me, because we still have the vice note. A Mark cross-screen, bad, not Mark cross-screen. Zachary Harding, bad man. We used to call Andre Stevens and threaten him. So no can call me and threaten me because I go call on a thief. Because thief on a thief the people their money. Jean and Pantan give an account to where she thief. Even though the FSC, Paula and the whole of them may not prosecute Hugh Croskery and Hugh Croskery's son and Zachary Harding. I know Jean and Pantan one did responsible for the people their money. So it is a fraud. When we call it a fraud and make we add thief to it. Because fraud, the element of thieves or stealing makes up fraud. You intentionally plan to deprive somebody of something. So make we call on a thief. If we don't want to sue, or don't want to send on a gunman, or don't want to send on a threat, we still are going to call on a thief. Because a thief on a thief. The Prime Minister likely involved in our stealing. Nigel Clark involved or colluded with, because when Nigel Clark get the report from the FSC, Nigel Clark turned a blind eye to the report. All Nigel Clark did was give Andrew Holness insider information from that report. So Andrew Holness can wind down him dealings at SSL. But I want to ask Usain Bolt a question. Them rob you and them don't look left nor right upon you. If Nigel Clark swanning off, I hope that you may get your money or whatever the nonsense Nigel Clark came up with. But what Nigel Clark did not do, though, Nigel Clark didn't give us the FBI he promised. Nigel Clark did not give us transparency and accountability he promised. Nigel Clark did not give a report he promised. Instead, Nigel Clark same one in a court, a fight. The man, the FSA, to seal the report after the FSC protected Hugh Croskery after this the loot. Because the FSC refused to bring charges against Hugh Croskery. The FSC dropped their case against SSL founder Hugh Croskery. But this same thief in Hugh Croskery benefited millions or billions in the FinSec what they call the Finstack scandal. And this same thief in Hugh Crosby still come back, come loot one of Jamaica biggest living icon. And the government, because they're involved in the loot, or because they have something to hide, they let SSL get away with murder. Because other than Jean and Pantan were a criminal at SSL, you know. Even when Jean and Pantan confessed to what she did, and Jean and Pantan money not amount up to what went missing at SSL, nobody else not responsible for what gone missing at SSL. Nobody beat and teach how you do. Renice Nicholson, Yvonne Riley, Georgia Dennis. So because them a multi-billionaire and they've been thieving and funding the government through donations, Jamaica not think these choppers, these high-class scammers deserve to face the full brunt of the law for the criminality that they have done to the Jamaica people. I know the first this man benefit from financial loot in other country, or from the bad regulations of the Labour government, because Nigel Clark was warned, and Nigel Clark looked the other way. When Nigel Clark was warned about SSL, Nigel Clark looked the other way. Nigel Clark didn't warn the public. Nigel Clark allowed the loot to continue. And many Jamaicans, including Usain Bolt, has been shafted in this robbery that was carried out by SSL.
Can you?
One of the biggest contributors to the financial meltdown was the Eagle Group. Yeah? SSL was formerly what we call Paul Senior and Company. That was the stockbroking arm of the Eagle Group. You with me? Yeah? The man who used to run SSL, Mr. Crosby, he was the man who was running Paul Senior and Company, the stockbroking arm of the Eagle Group. So that's where it came from. They went down with 14 billion and change for the taxpayer.
That is in the FinSac era.
40 billion FinSac money that we're talking about. They to them amount was $14 million.
14 million.
Billion.
And if we equate that today to today's money,
that would be like 50 billion now.
Oh, hallelujah.
Yeah.
Real money we're talking about, because back in the day, the dollar was better valued.
Yeah, man.
So the DNA of SSL come from down there, sir.
Yeah, man, from the Eagle Group.
The bloodline.
Yeah, man.
So you see, I know the first SSL carry out these loot in Jamaica. It's usual for them. They get away from the deregulation or the turning a blind eye to what Nigel should have been focusing on, because the regulations were there. FSC pointed out XY to Nigel Clark, and Nigel Clark denied it ever happened. And after the man point out that, he sent the report, because those reports are reports that have to be signed for by somebody. Them fire the man. And Nigel Clark come out in a crowd, come nimby round way, and haven't even give a proper explanation about that report he got, even though him deny knowing about it at the time. Cousin Marina Wagwan, Garfield Garden. Everything Nigel promised on the SSL report was on the SSL fraud was a lie. It's all a cover up. So the FSC same one dropped charges against Hugh Croskery. The FSC same one in a court a fight to seal the report. The FSC is an agent within Nigel and regulated by Nigel Clark Ministry. But why not behave sensible, Usain Bolt, like my youth there? You know, sister Johan Blake, Brittany Brand. You know, sister Johan Blake, take up his money, go invest in Florida. Because he don't want what happened to you happen to him. Jamaica don't show you the respect with the high status where you have to even make sure, Usain Bolt, there was an open and transparent investigation where someone is being held accountable. While they're punishing one woman for a whole institutional failure, our justice system can see it necessary to punish one woman for a multi-million-dollar fraud. The same Hugh Croskery who benefited $14 billion out of the FinSac era. All these scammers have to do when them rob enough people is dissolve or deregister whatever the company and them just go farm under a new name. No liability to the past. No liability to the past company. Isn't it time for Usain Bolt to move whatever money him have left in a Jamaica before them take further disadvantage of him again? Is it worthwhile any Jamaican at all investing in any of these firms, whether it be the Delta partnership where Zachary Harding are run at the moment? Should Jamaicans invest their money into these criminals who all they do is prop up their finances and the people of Jamaica is left all the while to pick up the pieces? Like father, like son. Father teach him for thief, him grow up thief. A long time them plan for Bolt. The same Zachary Harding, about the thief there. The same thief in Zachary Harding are from Beijing because them see the potentials and how far Bolt was going to go. Are from Beijing. Thief in Zachary Harding latch himself to Bolt because Zachary Harding knew there was much to loot out of what's to come. When you say the slave master picnic them still a carry out high class white collar crime in Jamaica, and they are protected from their crimes and corruption. Wanna notice all master picnic them are still protected in Jamaica when them carry out them crimes against the Jamaican people. I make them pussy over TikTok though. Move this pussy down, seriously, they're gonna pardon my people. But anyway, pussy, you know that the Phillips and just go and listen. That's not come here for. If you don't want to listen, you fuck off and move on, all right? Anyway, the wire, Tiffin Zachary Harding, are from Olympic season, early on in the Olympic. They've been targeting Bolt. And they make sure they milk him and them strip him. And all they do in a these scenario is just go somewhere else, go set up under a different name, and them start a whole nether looting over again. But on the labor right, ask yourself the question, why these big financial collapse always the people who support the Labour Party? Siaga, the Kraskre them, Ardley Shaw, and these people benefit out of the major meltdown, you know. I don't think Bolt has been in the Labour right camp. But in any case, whichever campaign in Jamaica law enforcement and Jamaica politician did not show him any respect, because him money just go like a butt against sun so, and him don't hear a thing unless him knows something more possibly, highly possibly, than what we in the public know. But one thing we can be assured of, there is not a public resolve in the case that we can say he was given justice. He has not been. The people them involved in the heist will lose their money has not been given justice. But what we know, Nigel Clark took taxpayer money and pumped into this madness of keeping SSL afloat. Nigel Clark and the FSC fought with the court to take control of the winding up of SSL. And when the court forbid them, what them go do? Raid the building and take out the financial officer computer and mash it up. And then them same one FSC in a court where they a fight to seal the SSL report or aspects of it. Remember the deregulation that caused the financial collapse during what they call the FinSac era was under Edward Siaga's lead in the 80s. That was where the deregulation and the financial collapse started, Gloria Morris. What you all call FinSac was measure put in place to cushion the economic blow that Jamaica would have faced from the deregulation of the eras of the 80s, where people like Hugh Kraskre and them people they take advantage of the deregulation in the banking system or in the financial sector and go set up all sort of shop and scoop up the people their money and run off with it, and them give out some what you would call bad debt and secure loan where them know people can't afford to pay back and them something there. FinSac was put in place to cushion that, what you all call FinSac. And that is the reason why Nigel Clark refused to give us a proper FinSac report, because it would point to the Siaga deregulation, the Siaga involvement, the Ardley Shaw involvement. Wayne Evans, so you do. Monica Wills, Gloria Morris, in loans and all of that at the time. Siaga benefited millions. SSL benefited billions. And this same SSL, this same Labour government was warned by the FSC about the financial turmoil possible to come at SSL. And Nigel Clark turned a blind eye. Andrew wind down for him dealings. And then Usain Bolt and the rest of investors all lost out. All lost out. And Nigel Clark promised us so much, I will do this, I will do that. But the truth is Nigel Clark did nothing. Nigel Clark did nothing other than promise us lies. And even Nigel Clark, after promising those lies, Nigel Clark, same one, turn round and got court to block those lies because something in the SSL report that they don't want the investors or the public to know because something in there where they might hide for somebody or something in there that embarrasses them. So FSC, Nigel and Andrew and the court and the whole of them. There's some game that's been played here with the FSC along in the car. FSC warned them, Nigel Clark turned a blind eye. Then when the scandal break and Nigel said me never know, them sacked the FSC head. Then FSC brought charges against Croskery. Those were dropped. Then FSC withdraw claim against Croskery to do with fraud or whatever. So they were given all the get out. They were given all the get out. But I'm sure neither Usain Bolt or any of the other investors cannot really speak of what the resolve is for them. All it is that they have been taken liberty of. Hold on. Hold on. Let me mute this. Rusty's channel is actually live, but he's not giving a live update at the moment. He's not in the broadcast room. So, Sandra Ellis, how are you? The unstoppable one. Good morning. Good morning. If you are in Jamaica as well, give us an update of how the weather is playing off in your area at the moment. Let us know what the weather condition is like in your neck of the woods this morning. Carol, they would have to go to if the information has been sealed by the court, then we can't have, no one can have access to it. But if the information is not being sealed, then a way to go is to access to information requests, which that sometimes can turn out to be a dilly-dally between you and whichever agency or organization you may be seeking the information from, because especially when them have something to hide, they hide one behind Data Protection Act and all sorts of galanging. So it's a tittle-tattle with the government, especially to do with the SSL report. But if the court seals it, then one won't be able to know what's in it. It could become almost like classified document. The Easy Jerk World, McKnight Hannigan, Lawrence McLean, Lawrence Wood. Good morning, and welcome. But in a few country, no rules, no really follow. No rules, no really follow. And this is why I'm fed up of people listening to these politicians and accepting the promises from them, because literally them control we by just promises, but not actually putting any of the promises they've made in place. And one of the hurtfulest thing is the people don't look like them have become tired. It's raining and windy outside. It's a beat and teach. More water than flower. Me don't know how all the road up in a Juliet constituency, if I look like the island will get all heap of rain after Raphael. How all road like for Juliet Catburn Fin will pop down one side. Ochi is presently raining. Pop down one side. Then that no me go into further landslide when you look on the whole heap of loose mud. Where dead is so and water figure run downstream. All people have to do is be very careful during this period. Do not venture out in the rain. Done it because Jamaica to of things, because you know, remember when burial day come we're there. When burial day come we're there, we never say hurricane party in a road, people pan car tap pan head and all them something there. Ladybug said no wind but on and off rain here in Santa Cruz. When as soon as the storm get near, they will cut the electricity. We will have no communication. I know beat and teach. Come here, I'll hear Flow and Digital say them ready. Me say ready for what? And I see them one did say we're there. And the whole are not pop down. Because remember say, uno depend on JPS unless uno put other measures in place to have generator power or whatever near on a grid and on a galang in them. But so them say them ready, but ask yourself the question, ready for what? Because the same thing they did say we're there. And hours before the whole country was shut down. Now I do understand the reason for that. There is a safety precaution for that. As you can see, many power lines went down during the hurricane. So it was wise to do, because that could cause a lot of fires, a lot of fatality and all that. So that was wise to do. But given how derelict we saw the infrastructure of JPS was during Hurricane Beryl, and we know they did a lot of sloppy tidy work to get things back up and running. How prepared are they to withstand, Colleen Richards, even a lesser force than Beryl, especially one that might come with a lot of water. To tell us that JPS is better prepared. When some column is on radio right now trying to tell us that JPS is better prepared. Me nah look upon them. Better prepared than who and than what? Is it that they're saying they're better prepared than before burial, or they're better prepared than after burial? Because I can't better prepare than before burial them I talk about, you know. Because we see the island-wide collapse or the southern coast collapse of JPS. Thingy rather, Raphael is traveling along the south coast as well. And we know in a places like Manchester and St. Elizabeth, I don't remember Clarendon, people did have to dig them all in order for JPS come put back them light posts and install them electricity. I wonder how safe those holes that the ordinary Jamaican assist JPS in constructing. I wonder how safe they are. And I wonder if after digging the hole, JPS supported them with concrete before covering them up. I don't know. I'm just asking. Because I think even in Parity, there was a light post where it tumbled down after I put up or something of this sort. But one thing we can say, JPS did a sloppy tidy work across the country. And me not see. Even if somebody walk, even if a hog, I don't know a hog, I don't know every Warmington love walk and rub against tree and post and them something there. Even if every Warmington rub against light posts of Jamaica, them supposed to fall down because it was a cowboy initiative to get things back up and running to quell the war between Darrell Vaz, JPS, and the OUR. We remember the war, you know. We remember every day and get up chatting one another and talk who have this and who not have that. And who not go do and who not should and do. Oh, we remember. Not because on here we not get up and throw it after no like salt a morning time. No means that we don't remember it. We do, certainly. We certainly remember it. So don't continue to come out and go on like say, we not do something. Every time there's a storm coming, we not come out and not sing praises to yourself. But after the storm, the whole on a jaw back in a shell like sea kong. All dreams in Parity are black. No MP, no councillor. No, so you know, say if we get a lot of rain, we are gonna have a lot of flood in a Parity because the whole of we drain them black. The whole of we drain them, and one particularly that leads the water to the sea when the savannah overflow. It was black parish council land where the mayor Derek Sangster or whoever take and sell to them private sector friend, them private investor friend, to build them fancy fair and them black which part where water walk, go a sea, and there's a permanent water storage on our savannah. Whenever used to be a place where we used to play cricket, football, people drive pan it, and all sort. It was a broad strip until rain fall and full it up. But now the water cannot recede because Derek Sangston, him friend them, give it to them private people and them build up them fancy fair there, and it has become a risk to our life. There's other drains in the community, other culvert in the community. They're all blocked. And within, we have the seafront away, eh? We have the savannah, what we call Salpan. So we have the sea in front away and the Salpan back away. Then you have further up the community what we call Springfield. Up there so is a marshland. You understand? So we live in a heavily water zone. If you use your hand and dig in our community, water starts spring. This is how much of a waterbed we live and see this so, savannah there so, and marshland there so. Carlos Gray, what go on, bro? So a part of the community is like a chop for flood. Because you have the marshland, you have the sea, and you have the savannah. If we overflow with water, the water no have nowhere to go. Because usually the water lead to the sea. And Derek Sangster friend them, build them fancy fair, and whatsoever they want build it. And those drainage are blocked up, which put the entire community at risk. But did you know the same people them go vote for Derek Sangster where they again? Derek Sangster, you know, were in a politics from 1976. 2024. When I think of Mike Henry, one of them got dead. We have a walk round, or Ardley Shaw, or J.C. Hutchinson. We have many deads in the Labour Party walking around. People who have long past their political life or mental capability to be in our politics. But them still they are rake and creep and thief and are going with themselves. And Jamaica people still take money, Kenil. Jamaica people still take money to continue walk and vote for the thief them. The same thief them will always full them pocket and run off. Like thiefing Hugh Croskery, where at the second time now, thiefing Hugh Croskery, come tap me and call your thief. Cause thief, your thief. Your thief in a Finstock and your thief in a SSL. How you one lucky so? To get in a too big heist, Hugh Croskery. And if I did one pick their own corner there, so America come fly plane, pick them up, man. There's no justice in this world. Cheryl, how are you? No justice in this world. Because when you go in America, all people purse. America fly plane with Marshall come pick you up. But financial institutions in Jamaica can thief 14 billion in the 90s and can still come out again, come defraud multiple customers of billions of dollars. And you don't want to call on a thief. You don't see the thief right in our forehead. If you don't see it because you not looking in the mirror, but because we're looking on our face, we see so not thief. And we're going to have to sue we, or at least sue me. Come here, call on a thief until you pay back the people their money. Hugh Croskery, Mark Croskery, Zachary Hart, the whole on a thief, Andrew Holness, Ardley Shaw, Dead Siaga, the whole on a thief. hold on our teeth and rob up the people their money and walk off into the sunshine and calling ourselves multi-billionaire, multi-millionaire. Hold on our teeth.
Trace the DNA of SSL for me. Can you?
Well, one of the biggest contributors to the financial meltdown was the Eagle Group. Yeah? SSL was formerly what we call Paul Chenyoung and Company. That was the stockbroking arm of the Eagle Group. You with me? Yeah? The man who used to run SSL, Mr. Cross Terry, he was the man who was running Paul Chenyoung and Company, the stockbroking arm of the Eagle Group. So that's where it came from. They went down with 14 billion and change for the taxpayers.
That is in the FinSac era.
40 billion FinSac money that we're talking about. They to them amount was $14 million.
14 million.
Billion.
And if we equate that today to today's money,
that would be like 50 billion now.
Oh, hallelujah.
Yeah.
Real money we're talking about, because back in the day, the dollar was better valued.
Yeah, man.
So the DNA of SSL come from down there, sir?
Yeah, man, from the Eagle Group.
The bloodline.
Yeah, man.
So we now just call Hugh Croskery thief loosely. It is the second time Hugh Croskery thief and get away with it. If Hugh Croskery weren't so aligned to the Jamaica Labour Party, Hugh Croskery couldn't get away with it. Why? Because Nigel Clark was warned. Nigel Clark got a report of the pending troubles to come at SSL. Nigel Clark deliberately turned a blind eye to the report. Who was Nigel Clark protecting? Who was Nigel Clark protecting? Who was Nigel Clark protecting when Nigel Clark got the report and turned a blind eye to it? It was the same way the Labour Party deregulate the financial system and allow thieves like Hugh Croskery to set up shop under the Paul Chenyoung and Company Eagle Group and squander billions, 14 billion of it, of your money, they went down with. 14 billion of your money, they went down with. And look at the loot of January 2023 of the SSL group. Look at the loot, Michael Nip. Look at the loot. And it's all covered up. It's all covered up and brushed aside because we were promised FBI, which we never got. We were promised transparency and accountability, which we never got. Winston Gibbs. I am Central Village, St. Catherine. No weather is just normal right now. Okay. Central Village in St. Catherine. The weather is normal at the moment. But always bear in mind, Jamaica, that there is always a calm before the storm. And the morning before Beryl hit, I said this to my brother Karen as well when we were talking. We were talking in voice note, and he was saying he don't think Beryl is coming because the way all the place calm. Me say, all right, that's the danger. This calm before the storm. So you know that it might go violent, and violent Beryl was that people within my family and my community say they don't want to endure another storm as turbulent as Beryl. Given that all of these people has been through Gilbert, they have been through Ivan, they have been through Dean, they have been through all the storms that came after Gilbert, but they do not want to experience Beryl again. So this time it's pouring rain in Green Acres, Spanish Town. So Green Acres, Spanish Town, lots of rain is chucking down. If you're joining in from Jamaica, let us know what the weather is like in your area at the moment, if there's excess wind or rain. And as for my community of Parity and others, those of you who live on the low-line, flood-prone areas, you must follow one, evacuation orders, and you must follow all the mechanism and that will protect life and limb. You want to make sure that even after the passage of Raphael, you do not venture out in the water for many reasons: germ, debris, live wire, and all sorts of things that could be happening. So make sure you all follow the necessary precautions that would give you the well-needed protection. But if you still both want to invest more of your money in a Jamaica, or want to keep your money into Jamaica, where it just share for the bankers them when them choose, then it's his choice. But I'm confused, Prime Minister, of Dana's position. Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth, and Information has announced the closure of all schools tomorrow. That's not my issue. When she came with the portfolio for skills and digital transformation. Am I not correct in that? She then was pushed information along with that. Additionally, she's been also pushed the education portfolio. So there is quite a mouthful here. Ministry of Skills, Youth, and Information. The question is, do you still have the digital transformation role, or the digital transformation role is waddled into this, but it's too long for say, so you just cut it down to the understandable mouthful? Boy, may I tell you, this is a government where can give you a basket for carry water, because I don't see why Dana Dixon, one, as someone who is unelected, I don't see why an appointed official should be running so much different portfolios. It's like the government don't have nobody qualified to give a portfolio to. So all them have to do is just lump portfolio from people with already overdriven portfolio. So answer this question, Prime Minister. The office them where Dana Dixon was running, she was running from the office of the Prime Minister, as I understand it, I believe. Ministry of Education is a portfolio. So have Dana moved from the office of the Prime Minister to Ministry of Education? And is she taking the portfolio of Ministry of Education over to the Ministry of Information with her. I don't know. Explain how it works. Because she's in the office of the Prime Minister without portfolio for information. I don't remember if the digital transformation and so it's a portfolio or it's in the office of the Prime Minister. I believe something like that. So. But education has its own portfolio. Education and youth has its own portfolio. So what she there now? She's still in her office to do everything, or she pick up her bag, accoutrement, and head over to Ministry of Education with it. And like when learn to run things out of filing cabinet in a fear office, she possible and run the other ministry them out of filing cabinet in a Ministry of Education. Because I don't know Prime Minister sound confusing. Lots of rain and breeze in South Manchester. Morning, Audrey Patterson. Well, then me confused. Me don't know what she there, what she a do, how much she a do, how much she can manage, and how much she responsible for. I just don't know. I just know if you talk about the inner title is a long mouthful. Minister of Education, Skill, Youth, Information, and Digital Transformation. No, man. That's a one whole mouthful where you have to swallow your pickle before you finish talk how you go. Me confused. Perspective part. I am really confused as to where Dana is and what Dana do. Is Dana at the office of the Prime Minister? Or is Dana just hinging and betting there? Or if the things them what she there run over the Prime Minister's office, if she pick up her bag, put all her accoutrement and all her folder them in her bag and head over to Education Ministry with it. So the Prime Minister need to update us and make we know, is the Information Ministry still in his office, or they na move over to Education with it? Are they na splitting a two and half over here, so Prime Minister, and half over there? So clarify it to the nation and make we know how the thing go with Dana, because if we fi talk pan how we know and understand, we're going to have to talk what we know. And we never know of you taking any of the posts off her previously before Ministry of Education. She just have additional posts. Now, my argument is, can Dana run so much portfolio at the same time, given the focus that the Ministry of Education need? You never say favor never have time to even implement the Disability Act that would allow people with disability to have equal access to education. You never say Andrew Pint whatever pan Fayeval and tell Fayeval say, show the people them say you can do the job. Advertise and tell them about the benefit to come. You never see? All right, you never see. Make me show no Andrew a pint gun pan Fayeval. Because you go on like me a walk and make up the things them. You go on like me and make them up. When Andrew pint weapon pan Fayeval and say, if you don't read out this, Hassan Patu today,
What? What do you mean? About the $20,000 available through the reverse income tax credit facility for registered taxpayers who earn $3 million or less? You didn't see it? Well, so far, TAJ says 74,292 registered taxpayers. Each of them got $20,000 in the last 4 weeks. You know how much money that? $1.495 billion. And it's not done yet. In November, the THL says another 197,292 more registered taxpayers will get their $20,000. You know how much that is? $3.946 billion. Yes, it's legit. So apply now by going to the THA website. Fill out the form. Trust me, the $20,000 will come in handy right before the Christmas. My girl, this is how your government is working for you. This is how your government is caring for you. So make sure you get the $20,000. We'll talk again.
Cameraman, me have you. Because you should have turned around fast like a mosquito, you clap. And make the camera point on the man where point the gun at favor and a force her to say the things them where she say, what she no mean. But rather than I take up $20,000 give a favor, take each person where I get it $20,000. Take dollar half of it and use it to buy grease for the door hinge them round you. Where squeak and a cry while somebody open them while you have video. Go aisle your door inches them favor in your office. Because Nigel Clark spend how much a year there. And not about aisle Nigel, never aisle the door inches them. See as you go by there. The door inches them just a cry and I make noise in your video so. So take dollar. And for the 20,000 where you give each people and buy a little grease for your door hinge. That next time when Andrew and the gunman them point gun after you and tell if it comes to fuck rip on social media. We don't hear the door hinges them and scream and I make the hope and noise, you damn fool. That's all I'm gonna do every day is use stupidity and PR optics to fool the people. But then again, I'm gonna get away because some of them just sleep and refuse to wake up. So they're just sleeping and refuse to wake up. You think the crossers are not going to rob again? If the Jamaican system allow the crossers to set up shop in a Jamaica again under a different name, because Zachary Harden go set up under Delta what's it or other runs you want to call it. But after 2 heists, and the crossers have benefited so much after going into the purse of the Jamaican investors, should they be able to set up shop in Jamaica ever again? Should the people of Jamaica trust the crossers and any financial institution they are running to ever be in control of poor people money again? Open your eyes, my people. Open your eyes. See another disaster come, and we're going to have to batter it pan we own just like after burial. The Prime Minister must have line up in camera, him capture and him tripod at the moment to go around the country, go get the first and the best images. While a lot of you Jamaicans are struggling to recover from burial, even after you see those hefty donations and insurance money that your leader have collected from other countries. I'm still tell you, say, they are going to help you out of the Jamaica purse, so they don't need to go into what them get from old Massa and their friends. But what really happened to old Massa's money? What really happened to those insurance money and the donation? Because you all said the burial relief was out of the pocket of Jamaica. Jamaica could have do it on their own. They never have to beg nobody for help. But we knew Canada helped, the UN helped, the United States helped, Britain helped. What happened to those money? Because you said the money we use is the money out of our pocket, money that we have saved, Prime Minister. What happened to the money that you got in the catastrophe bond, you got from the UN, you got from the US, you got from Canada, you got from the UK? What happened to those money? We're still yet to be aware of what happened to the money you got in COVID and lockdown from all these different international partners. We're still yet to know what happened to the 31 million rather, we see Kamala Harris gave to you in 2022. We're still waiting to hear and to know how the money they spend, where you do with it, who it spend pan. After all, you're good at accounting, Prime Minister, aren't you? One with 28 bank accounts and 3 companies with very little staff, if any at all, Prime Minister. One would rather be good at accounting, wouldn't you, Prime Minister? Because you run 3 company, 28 bank account, a study full-time, and still manage to run a country. You ought to be celebrated, Andrew Holness. You ought to be celebrated. Because if you can run 3 company, 28 bank accounts, a full-time degree, and a country with many portfolios, Prime Minister, I mean, Anansi couldn't have done that well, couldn't he? See there? You still Ren's girl. Why you don't go read? This is why I tell you, on the labor right over TikTok. Go read the SSL report, you dumb Ross. Go read the SSL report and not stop come over and ask, well, where did it say Andrew Holness have 28 bank account? Under every Warmington Mama sister. Just like, listen, don't provoke me war hit. I hit me don't like over TikTok, you know. Because on a dunce, always come over with some provocation. Go and go ask your mama why she never tell you who your papa be. And come ask me about where did it say the Prime Minister have 28 bank account. Go ask your mama who are your papa and come ask me frickery. Damn dunce. That's all on the labor right. Go and read the SSL report. It's online on the Integrity Commission page to read. We're not too dunce. Stop being dunce. And come ask me where it says it. Go and ask Google. A time for you to stop work and ask people stupid question. That's why we know so no dunce. Because rather than come ask the stupid question, you would go into the integrity report and you would read, and then you would come back out of the integrity report and debunk it and say there's nothing in there. But don't come ask me. It shows that you're done. And this is what the Labour right do all the time. This is why Everett Warmington in a parliament every day I ask for the audit report of the Integrity Commission when all of the audits are sitting in the yearly report. Wanna stop making yourself look so stupid in a public all the while and go and read. So there is another dunce this, you know. Is another dunce this one named Clinton Barrett. Clinton Barrett is another dunce. Can tell say Clinton Barrett no go to school. Clinton Barrett ongo talk where people tell him when here on the mango tree, when here in a backyard or pan shop pizza. And them people that come out on social media come ask them question them, you know. You see the one them where I pass and hear somebody attack and they say, you know, see I saw it go fit through. And them go walk and spread the nonsense. And them walk and ask the stupid questions. All you have to do, go and read. Both Uno and Everett Warmington, please go and read and stop asking the embarrassing questions that make you look stupid. When Juliet leaked the information to Cliff, 4 of the 28 bank accounts come out in the Galangin. Stop the nonsense and go and read. That's why Andrew Holness can get up and promise, you know, from 2015 to now, every time a conference season come around, this man adorn you all with multiple promises. And even if people remind the Prime Minister of his failed promises, when you come ask when he did say so, when he did tell so, I mean, you know, stop it. There's a way to have a conversation. But when you approach a conversation as a fool, you're going to be treated as one. It's just how things go. You know, in a Jamaica, you see people have a sensible conversation and you pluck up there with idiotness. They're going to tell you, say, damn fool, move from here. What you can do, though, is listen. Then you can do a meaningful contribution to the conversation. But don't come here and ask dumb questions. We would do the days of when teacher used to fling the duster and lick you in your face and find everybody see. You open chalk dust all over your face or upon your head. Them know that are the dunce of the class where don't pay attention because teacher did have to fling the dust and lick him in the head. It's just simple. And that's how you appear when you come out here with the white duster mark. The biggest thief in politics was PJ. Me not out here for root for neither PJ nor Anjo. Me have proof over for Anjo thief. For Anjo thief, for Anjo is documented. The Integrity Commission report, whatever we're talking about Anjo finances, is documented. The SSL flying over Leaching Bank and dropping money for Andrew Holness is documented. The Andrew Holness taking foundation money buying bond, it's documented. The Andrew Holness who stood up in Parliament and tell us the account must be open for me by my mother and my father from me a 2-year-old, and I never remember it. But at the same time, up of recently, Andrew was transferring millions through those accounts when don't remember about. Because you have not read the report. because you have not read the report and you done. All on do done or done Omara come back. Duns Omara love over here, you know. Duns Omara and Clinton Barrett. Them love over here. You know some children where you go to school with, there's some butterfoot we always in your class we can spell neither rat nor cat, and they move them up from grade 1 to 9 without them being able to spell rat nor cat, and them graduate them from school unable to spell rat or cat. A 42 over TikTok. If you don't know over here for mind people business, you can tap up the screen. Otherwise, you know over here with the nonsense, all account of labor right will just come to mind people business. Why are you all here? If you're not there to listen, you can there to support as well too. So you can tap up the screen and all that jazz and the things like that. But Clinton, the odds, both you and Omara or whatever she name, the odds are against, you know. Look at the polls. On running around social media and attacking every page or everybody who wants to speak of the governance of our country. It is showing how timid you all are. It is showing how scared you all are of the upcoming general election, Tashwagwan. Because on know say the amount of cloud that this prime minister is under, this prime minister will not be able to make it to the polls. This prime minister is a sitting duck. With this current prime minister, he cannot lead a country successfully into a general election. And you know that, you know, and that's why you all are worried. You have never seen a leader party slip so badly and them come back to win the election. Given that Andrew's credibility is expected to even slip further, given the more illicit enrichment report to be tabled in Parliament. All of those is going to make Andrew Holness much, much weaker. One I go to them time there. One I go was on Darrell Vaz, because the Darrell Vaz are kin Katia now, because the 10th of November is really rubbing him the wrong side, because he's already seen that he's lost East Portland. Without the election being called, he's aware that he's lost East Portland. The button ball that Darrell Vaz will have to play now is to weigh up, do I spend a lot of money trying to buy back these parishes without being sure if I'm going to win them? It's a hard ball to juggle for Darrell at the moment. Can my money meet the influence? Is what Darrell Vaz is thinking at the moment. Will young people take my money and then still vote against me? Is what Darrell Vaz is asking himself at the moment. Ono fully aware that Nestor Morgan is not going to make it through handsomely. Rhoda Crawford is not going to make it through handsomely. Kim has threatened the Prime Minister. If you never hear what Kim said, I could tell you what Kim said. Kim said, you need my support to take home that seat. And given Sono send Warrell Reid down here, come thief up the people and money and get me in a trouble, and the whole are not turning a back against me, and me have to sell out everything me have, land, van, and business. I'm still, Kim says, buckling under the weight of it. My party, she says, when me now left, but me now go walk up and down and support them, because when I needed my party help, my party turned their back on me. Most of them barring one, not even as much as return a call. Says Kim, no me. The division is rife within the Jamaica Labour Party at the moment, because the whole on know say Andrew is a lost cause, Andrew is a sitting duck, and Andrew is willing to take the entire party down with him. At that bono, at that we couldn't walk and harass people every day. Can't know say me no Labour right, and no say me no PMP. But every time people start the truth on a run, say Kim, okay, all right, Clinton, listen, oh Kim a ball. Listen, oh Kim a ball. I want to do the run, go down the road, but I came out.
Noble councillors and caretakers of the Jamaica Labour Party.
Yeah, here, Clinton.
I am Kim Brown Lawrence, the sitting two-term councillor for the Brownstone Division in North West Centre.
Share the live and call
a seat that has never been won by the Jamaica Labour Party since 1982. It took 36 years for me to single-handedly and barefooted win this seat.
Yeah,
I have never had a walk with a party official here. I have never had a meeting with one here for my election, I should say. No, let me not say that. I've never had a walk with an official here. Right? Kim do it. Broke and everything. And she did it. Right? It so happened that 5 years ago, Ruel Reid was sent here as the caretaker, a seat that I applied for. But as they said, I'm not qualified. No problem. They sent someone, I worked with him. It so happened, that was the second letter written by the, one written after that.
Tap up the screen.
Anyway,
tap up the screen.
Let's leave that. Not qualified, no problem. I'll work with where I am placed. I'll grow where I am placed, right?
Where I laugh at Clifton?
5 years ago, the court started from
Clinton,
2019.
where I laugh at?
Every Wednesday, the council have to find herself a station, signing in a police book over something she don't know about. Reached out to the party, officials in the party, numerous times, seeking help to get a lawyer.
Hold on the Clinton. Hold on the Clinton. Oh, you mean Kim can't manage the seat? What would Worrell do? Worrell go down there, go put her in a trouble. Worrell never manage it neither. So who to tell Kim May would have stolen less? Why not give it to who steal less? Why only Labour right love big thief, so? Why Kim couldn't manage the seat? She managed to flip the division that Labour right could not win for 30 odd years. And I thought about she couldn't manage the seat. I saw whole on have one of what you call this misogynistic behavior against women and things that on a man is a better role player or a better thief. On a men are just crook, Clinton Barrett. On are just thief and crooks.
Good evening, noble councillors and caretakers of the Jamaica Labour Party. I am Kim Brown Lawrence, the sitting two-term councillor for the Brownstone Division in North West Centre. A seat that has never been won by the Jamaica Labour Party since 1982. It took 36 years for me to single-handedly and barefooted win this seat. I have never had a walk with a party official here. I have never had a meeting with one here for my election, I should say. No, let me not say that. I've never had a walk with an official here, right? Kim do it. Broke and everything, and she did it, right? It so happened that 5 years ago, Ruel Reid was sent here.
Hold on there. Yvette Grant, somebody have to come out and talk. If somebody never come out and talk, Diddy wouldn't in a cell today. Somebody needs to come out, come talk. Kim needs to come out, come talk. How it go? How the loot go?
As the caretaker, a seat that I applied for. But as they said, I'm not qualified. No problem. They sent someone, I worked with him. It so happened, that was the second letter written by the court. Yeah, one written after that. Anyway, let's leave that. Not qualified, no problem. I'll work with where I am placed. I'll grow where I am placed, right? 5 years ago, the court started from 2019. Every Wednesday, the council have to find herself a station, signing in a police book over something she don't know about. Reached out to the party, officials in the party, numerous times, seeking help to get a lawyer. None of them reach out to the answer. Reach out to our next minister. Take pity upon me and he helped me. Yeah, he helped me with the lawyer 2 times, 5 years now. 2 times. This is a case that caused me to close business, sell my father dead left van. The retroactive that I receive, I have to use it upon lawyer. I have to take time talking, because when I'm angry, I will say things one
Thanks for the share, Winston.
I use the dead left, the selling van, to pay a lawyer. 2 van to pay a lawyer. The business money, pay a lawyer till the lockdown. Daughter sick, reach out, nothing. Get a little retroactive, liar. Reach out back to him, an official, nothing, no help, not even a reply. General, I come up back. I mean, no, I know that I am the head cornerstone in a Northwest Central constituency. Yes, I'm aware. Because you need this seat to carry it in. If you work under the whole of them, I pressure you. And plus the sitting else come out again. I mean, no, me party. When me now left, now go back me. Yeah, man. I go run up and down here.
Clinton, this for sure on a wicked. You say you can believe Kim win the seat, but congrats her for winning it. Because were fully aware, Karen Demad, how are you? Fully aware that for over 3.5 decades, that division was seen as a PNP stronghold based on they've never won that seat for 36 years. That's why you shouldn't support Kim, because Kim has managed to flip a division, Clinton, that gave a seat. And that seat depend on Kim division to bring home that seat for the next general election. But still not supporting her. Tell me if that not show how no wicked to labor right as one another. Yes, any party will have disgruntled councillor at times. Yes, that is normal. But given Kim's situation, and Kim now explain the reality of it, Kim would be alluding to the fact, no, it's not a personal matter. Kim bring it into the public now. One, why it's not a personal matter. Kim is a counselor, a local government counselor. Kim is being elected by the public. Therefore, all these matters are public issues to discuss. But it showed that the party don't even support them very own, because she's alleging that when I asked for the seat, they told me I wasn't qualified. Them send Warrell Reid come here as the caretaker and see me end up in a bangarang and no help from the party or anybody. Me one have to foot it on my own. As she has said, I may be giving my interpretation of my understanding of what she's saying, but I'm sure you can hear from out of your mouth what she's saying. Next thing, where's the Jamaican for Progress? Jamaican still voting JLP. Okay. Don't have no problem with that. If them vote with that, them have to settle with the result. You will always have difference in any organization, politically or otherwise. That is true. This is not just a difference, though. This is criminal charges. This is criminal charges that tend to do with corruption and misappropriation of money. This is not a personal issue with her and the party. This is a public issue. She's been accused of a crime to do with state money. So it's not a personal matter, or it's not a matter that any one of us cannot discuss. When the paper them ready, them write about it. Kim is pouring out her heart about how she feels since this thing has been going on, how she's been treated, the amount of things she have lost, her business, her 2 vans, her father dead left land, her little retroactive money, and everything. Is she saying it? If the party has assisted her, even with a lawyer, as she was requesting such help, maybe she wouldn't come out in a public airing her grievances. Have you ever think about that? If she have got help internally. The day, I think yesterday. Sorry about that, my people. It kicked me out of the studio, but I'm back in. I'm back in. I hope you can hear me on YouTube. If you listened to me yesterday, I said neither PNP or JLP don't talk about each other's character. And the reason why is the whole of them have people with questionable character. If there was any justice, James Robertson would under prison for the murder of them. If there was any justice, Bobby Montague would under prison for rape. If there was any justice, Darrell Vaz would under prison for the murder and the raping of Diane Smith. If there was any justice, the Prime Minister's attorney and Alonda Terry Long would have gone to prison for Jermaine Jr.'s murder. So, that's why I tell the two of them, you not hear me now? Let me know if you not hear me on YouTube. That's why if you listen to me yesterday, I said neither JLP or PNP. Let me know if you can hear me on YouTube, please. Neither JLP or PNP don't fit talk about character. Sound good. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Marcia. Because none of the two of them don't have good character. If you read the article that was written after the UK ambassador, Canada did their investigation, the US did their investigation, and both of our political representatives on both sides are involved in illegal gun trade in the country. Even in the what you call it, WikiLeaks, I don't see any of the PNP name in there so far, but Darrell Babsy Grange is in it, Horace Chang is in it. We not just make up these things. So that's why I say neither Labour nor PNP can't come out here come talk about integrity because them don't have none. Marissa Dalrymple's in front of the court for dubious things, and Johannes is in front of the court trying to struck out the Corruption Prevention Act. So none of them using that argument against each other. It don't make no sense. The two of them is a set of criminals. The two of them aligned to scamming, drug dealing, illegal gun importation. Both parties thief the public purse. Both party underdevelop the country. Both party don't fix the road. Both party don't fix the water and light. Tell me say a lie, me I tell. Both party broke down with hospitals. Both party broke down with education system. Tell me I'm telling a lie. Tell me I'm telling a lie. And then I will know you're a political hypocrite. Because if you cannot look at Jamaica and how we rode them stay for the last 50 years, I talk about one better than the other. No, both of them are thieves. What both of them have shown us. Hold on. Yeah, but stop pretending as if you're balanced when you're lying on the JLP. What do you mean I'm lying on the JLP? Point out the lie when me tell Jamaicans for progress. Because that's what Ono do. Ono listen to people show on just one subject or one sentence and walk away deciding who I am and what I stand for. You hear linking JLP with Bolt money when you know there is none. Almighty God, a man you a fool. Man or woman, whatever you be. The FSC report, if you remember the saga, Jamaicans for Progress, the FSC sent a report to the Ministry of Finance, to Nigel Clark, alerting the Ministry of Finance, who regulates the FSC, which the FSC regulate and regulate all of these people. The FSC sent that report to Nigel Clark. Nigel Clark claimed he was unaware of the report, a report that was signed for and received. When McCullough came out and gave that statement, them sacked McCullough. How is it then that The SSL scandal is not linked to the Jamaica Labour Party. When Nigel Clark got a report from, this is the bullshit that I'll come up with. SSL is a private entity. Who regulates the financial entities in Jamaica? That's where it goes back to Jamaican for Progress. Wanna stop the dumbness. I notice wanna do it all the while. The Financial Services Commission regulates and audit these people. That's why them couldn't send a report to Nigel, because they are the regulators. If Nigel has acted upon that report, Jamaican for Progress, the debacle that happened at SSL could have been probably aborted, because when Nigel got the report, and if they took SSL into receivership or public administration, then what they wanted to do to wind up the company, which the court blocked them from doing. So, oh, you mean to say Nigel Clark is not linked to it? Why didn't then, if the JLP isn't linked to it in their silence or their omission, why Nigel Clark kept the report private, knowing that SSL was going to go down? Ask yourself that question. One of JLP always come over here with the nonsense about this and that. The FSC regulates them. If the FSC regulates and audit them, and they send a report to the Ministry of Finance, a report that was ignored, and the company, the investment firm went down after that, who do you think is responsible? Who got the report and who should have acted upon the report? What, the PNP? Or the fraudulent SSL, which were doing illegal practices? It was the government. It was the Ministry of Finance. It was the FSC who passed it on to Nigel to do something about it. So if a director of NCB or Sagicor are in our account to steal our money, is JLP fault? In the case that you're asking, these banks are a separate thing from what happened at SSL, where the entire thing went under with everybody's money. In SSL, the government who regulate them were warned. The reason why what SSL and those in the FinStack era, the reason why the big bank, them like NCB and so on, don't get into those debacle, because they're foreign regulated and them don't follow the musho and under table system that people like SSL and previously Eagle Group and Paul Cheng Young them wouldn't follow, which they've always end up in a collapse with the people's money. There's a track record. I not just today, I not just now. A long time it a go on. If the other banks them report go to them and Nigel have not acted upon it, it would have been the same thing. Because the government allow Nigel Clark and the government allow SSL to go under with the people money when they knew before it went under, and they stood silent. They didn't inform the public. The Prime Minister wind up his dealings at SSL. Who else should we align it to? Stop following loose talk and have a mind on your own. So where like our loose talk may have, the information where you come with, where is it coming from? Anyway, these labor right dunce them over TikTok now go get me attention. It is what they do all the time. Them just come and them ask weird question and weird hypothesis rather than dealing with the issue of SSL. And then you go off onto Sagicor, you go off onto NCB. No, we're dealing with SSL. SSL. This is what you all do. When you can't talk about SSL, when you go on to Sagicor and no, I'm talking about SSL. 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 When you wait until when for Sagicor or NCB time come, but SSL. Tell me that the report didn't go to Nigel. Tell me that Nigel didn't ignore the report. And tell me that Nigel Clark didn't withhold it from the people that SSL is in problem. And I mean, sister, that's why I didn't sack Mr. McCullough or whatever his name, because he spoke the truth. I send the report, you received the report was signed for. It's not a lie. Anyway, thank you all for being here with us this morning on the Global Television Group. I don't know if we'll be coming back today for Drive Time London, but if we do, keep an eye out. Otherwise, join us back this evening for the People's Point of View, 11 p.m. UK time, and then you will have to work it out in your local Eastern time. Thank you all very much for being here this morning, and good afternoon and good morning from the Global Television Group.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who was openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commissioner of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution, and that Minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the Minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us. Our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agree that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.